Alright, so the last video we were quickly discussing the breakdown that we had the... Hey everyone. So the last video we were going over the creative briefing that was given to us by these two companies in order to create impactful and meaningful advertising for them. So let's start with Kent's. Now you're going to see I already have all of the text that I plan on adding to this document displayed in the ad. So let's just talk about some of the decisions that were made during this process. Again, hopefully you made slightly different decisions, however, there should be a common goal and a common feel to how these ads are portrayed in the end. So the typeface I chose is Magnifica. Basically, I chose it because, let's just get a little closer in here so we can see some of the details of this type. So it's definitely a graphic typeface, and it just has, the twirls that are on the A and the N. The terminals have that goofy little twist to the end of it. It gives just a very lighthearted feel, and that's one of the main things that we're going to want to use to communicate to this specific target audience. So we went with a typeface with those characteristics, and we kept everything very simple and very clean, like Kent's Foods are, Typography has such an impact on how this brand could potentially be perceived, right? So we needed to choose the correct amount of words as well as the correct typeface in order to portray the same things that Kent's is all about. So the text reads, no GMOs, no processed foods, big bold letters, as Mother Nature intended. Then a really simple call to action down at the bottom, visit kentsfoods.com to learn more. Especially while Kent's is a smaller company, not necessarily having a huge hold in the marketplace, a simple call to action like that is going to be critical. It's going to give the client an opportunity to sell themselves a little bit more to the potential customer, basically. Give more of an introduction, more of an education than a small half-page ad in a magazine can do, right? We're just trying to get them geared to learning more about the company. So everything about this typography says fun-loving, easygoing, yet still has this heaviness, this resonance that they are serious about not having GMOs or processed foods, and specifically that this is as Mother Nature intended, right? There's a certain level of heft to that sentence because that's a strong statement, and because that's what we really want the audience to resonate with this. So those were some of the user experience and typography decisions that were made by myself in this ad. Again, very likely you had something slightly different going on. I mean, we were given a very open-minded creative briefing, right? That was in no way nitty-gritty, hardcore specifics. So I, by all means, hope that we all had something a little different, but that was the main communication of what we wanted to send. Now, for Central Bank, especially with the target audience that we were gearing towards, simplicity to me was a key move on our part. Central banking, we already described, it is considered a large corporate scale bank. So where Kent's had a smaller market going for them, Central Bank, in this example that we're putting together, already has a large foothold, and they're just attempting to communicate their message of you being more than just a number. So why not be as straightforward and simple as we possibly could with it? We of course chose a typeface that works well with the logo decision that the client Centra already had made. Something very clean, very modern, and just as easy to read and understand. So you have all these numbers going in the back as if, let's just pick a name. I don't want to say Chase because I actually bank with them, but let's just use that for an example. Where you're just a number. There's all these numbers, all these various accounts, all this coding that's going on in the background. Central Bank dominates the page, and then just a simple tagline down at the bottom. Here, you're more than just a number. No call to action. If someone read this ad and was impacted by it, like hopefully they will be, They'll go into Google, they'll type in central banking, they'll find what they need. They'll drive down the street, they'll see a central banking location. There's already enough of a presence that we didn't need to get too specific on having a call to action there. It's all just about communicating what they needed their message to be sent in the most easy to understand way possible and the clearest, Being a 21 to 25-year-old man means that relatively you're going to be a busy person. You're not going to want to sit there and have to digest a huge amount of information from an advertisement. You're going to want to get the core message in the snap of a finger. And that's what this user experience was all about. So that about covers it for the actual breakdown of these exercises. Hopefully now you see some of those user experience decisions going into play and seeing how the videos that were a precursor to this one, that were explaining some of the decisions that could be made via user experience, all are impacted in the real world when we start to bring these types of situations to life a little bit.